Well, Pete, on the back of that derby between Everton and Liverpool, Everton are, circling for Ben Doak, a £30 million potential transfer fee, but obviously the shocking one here would be a direct move from Liverpool to Everton. Could they actually spend this money and get this deal done?
Well, obviously, Everton have been crying out for a winger. We know that is a priority for them in this upcoming summer transfer window, so that's why probably Ben Doak has emerged on their radar. He's had a decent loan spell at Middlesbrough this season. He scored 3 goals and 7 assists in 24 championship appearances, but obviously that sort of loan has been cut short with a serious thigh injury, which has ruled him out for the rest of the season, which is a big blow for Doak and Middlesbrough as well. Obviously, there has been a bit of interest in Doak in the January window. Crystal Palace had an offer of around £50 million rejected, so I think probably that's why if Liverpool were to sell, they would probably be demanding for a fee of around £30 million. Whether Everton could go to that or not, that remains to be seen. Lots of question marks over this deal. I think obviously Everton have sent scouts to watch him, and David Moyes is an admirer of his fellow Scot. But yeah, there's lots to do before any potential surprise move across Stanley Park happens and we see Ben Doak moving to Everton. Again, we don't know if Liverpool would sell him, and would they sell him to their bitter rivals as well. So there's so much up in the air. I do expect there will be offers for Ben Doak in the summer, whether Everton are one of those clubs. I think Crystal Palace remain keen. Bournemouth have also shown an interest in him as well. So if Ben Doak feels that he's not going to maybe make that breakthrough at Liverpool, he might decide that he might have to move on this summer, and I'm sure, as I said, there will be a lot of interest in him.
And we've spoken a lot about, David Moyes liking to pluck from the championship. Dan Neil is yet another championship talent linked with Everton this coming summer. Is the only chance of signing him if Sunderland actually does not get promoted?
Yeah, it'll obviously give them a massive boost to their opportunity to sign Dan Neil if Sunderland don't win promotion. Neil is probably one of the best midfielders outside the Premier League. He's earning a very good reputation at Sunderland. He's captain as well, and he's still only 23, so he's got good character, good experience. He's probably the next one off the production line of a bit like Jordan Henderson when he came through at Sunderland and then made that big money move to Liverpool. Obviously his contract expires in 2026, so just over a year left on his contract, and there's been no new deal agreed as yet. So yeah, for Sunderland, they might be forced into selling him if they can't agree a new deal with Dan Neil, which would come as a huge blow to them because he's come through the ranks, and he is a Sunderland boy as well, so, and a big huge fan favourite as well. But yeah, I think Sunderland probably bracing themselves for interest and offers in Dan Neil this summer, especially if they don't win promotion to the Premier League, which is obviously their goal. They've still got a good chance of doing that. They're sitting in fourth place in the table, looking like the playoffs. But yeah, for me, Dan Neil, I think he won't be short of offers if Sunderland don't come up, because West Ham are also big admirers of the 23-year-old as well. So yeah, again, like you mentioned there about David Moyes and Everton, they've had success in the past when signing players from the Championship. Obviously, David Moyes signed Tim Cahill during his time at Everton, and obviously then Jared Bowen when he was at West Ham as well, and they were two massive successes signing from the EFL as well. So yeah, Dan Neil would tick a lot of boxes for what Everton are looking at. Defensive midfielder, good energy, and I think a player who's only going to get better and better as well. So yeah, I would fully expect offers and bids to be made for Dan Neil if Sunderland don't go up this season.
And speaking of championship talent, we are looking at another centre back linked with Everton, Maxime Esteve. We know that Jared Branthwaite may stay, may go, but could Esteve kind of fit in either alongside Branthwaite or replace him should Jared Branthwaite leave this coming summer?
I think he could do either. He could either come in and bolster that Everton defence alongside Branthwaite, or as you said, if the worst does happen and Everton lose Jared Branthwaite this summer, Esteve would be a decent replacement for him as well. He's had a standout campaign for Burnley this season. I think he's been the mainstay in that defence. I think he's only missed one game all season, and Burnley's record defensively has been unbelievable. Only conceded 11 goals in 39 games. That is some going, really. And yeah, Esteve, not surprisingly, has attracted interest from other clubs. Everton have gone and watched him on a number of occasions. There's also been talk of interest from West Ham and also AC Milan as well. So look, the player's obviously doing something right, that he's attracting these admiring glances from some top clubs as well. Sort of the question mark over this one is if Burnley were to win promotion to the Premier League, which they're well placed to possibly do. I can't imagine them selling Esteve, especially if they want to make an impact in the Premier League. He joined midway through last season when Burnley were heading for relegation, so we maybe didn't see the best of them. So he made 16 appearances, but since he's dropped down to the Championship, he's been outstanding, and I'm sure Burnley, if they do end up winning promotion back to the top flight, they'll be desperate to keep hold of Esteve, and they're under no real pressure to sell right now because he's under a long-term contract until 2029, so I think it would take a big fee to even consider Burnley to cash in on the Frenchman.